Namaste. Namastizzle. Greetings. Peace and blessings. Shalom. What's up? What's up? Hopefully, today brings you plenty of joy as you shop or whatever you did for the weekend or the holiday. Uh, Hopefully, you were the best at it and you had a great time if you celebrated with your family, whatever the case may be. No. Magic Choir. And it is Friday, Day of Venus. Um, I wasn't here yesterday. As it stands, I actually totally forgot to come live. I don't know why, because I do it on the same days every week, but I actually forgot. So coming to you today at the end of the week, at the end of the holiday. Do people even do Black Friday shopping anymore? Who knows? But greetings. I greet you in peace. What's up, Sharon? What's up, Mystic TV? How are y'all doing? Sharon, uh your comments on the movie, uh I think they were on point, but I said the next time I talk to you, I would address that. But I think you're on point with that. I just don't know. So I want to see if I can recruit other people to watch this particular movie and tell us what they think of the end. Okay. Um, I thought it was on Netflix. Big reveal. The star of that picture, the director, the producer, he is a Philly local rapper, goes by Black De Niro. Uh, he's also my sister's baby daddy, like really her baby dad. So I do know him personally. Um, Honestly, I didn't know he had it in him, to be honest. But it's a hood movie with a slight message at the end. So I was thrown for a loop because I kept rewinding. I'm like, what is this big twist that everybody's talking about? And then I'm like, then when Sharon messaged me this morning and said, yeah, you do it throughout the movie, not wait to the end and throw something in there and try to be deep. Like, no, that's stupid. She's absolutely right. So, forgive me. I'm in one of my silly moods. No shopping for you? Oh, okay. I it's like it's so easy to do online shopping now. You know what I mean? And if you have Prime Amazon, you get whatever the next day. So yeah. Um, it's crazy. Uh, y'all gonna have to forgive me today. All right, so uh where was I going with this? Oh yeah. All right. So I see, and I'm late for this. I really am late with this, but Tubi has a whole genre of black movies, and they're all ghetto. They're all hood movies, all of them, every single one of them. Of course, but I mean, remember what I'm always saying: melanated people are getting attacked from every way possible. This is another way to do it. You put these movies out for free, give them to the black audience, and guarantee the black people are going to watch. Drug dealers, prostitutes, sexual over sexualization, robbing and stealing, everything negative is what these movies are about. Ain't none of them deep, ain't none of them thought provoking. Um, I said what I said. So I was surprised that that movie was on there. Then I was like, wait a minute. So I know what kind of shit he's into. So yeah, it's just another way. It's you might as well be watching stars. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to stop because black people. When I say black people, I mean the ignorant black person. Black people will continue to aid in their own destruction. They will continue to put money in the pockets of everybody but themselves. So every time I say, worry about yourself, worry about yourself. You cannot worry about this. This race is done. This race is done. So there's yet another example of it. Not saying that there's no good movies on TV. I don't know. I haven't looked at them all. But from what I can tell, yeah, hood movies. Is he magical? Not at all. Somehow I knew you were going to ask me that shit. No, and no. That's why I was surprised when she said what she said to him, when she revealed that to him. I'm like, huh? No. I'll tell you the rest of that later. So, love, peace, and power, brother Kunami. Um, I'm requesting gift cards to buy books only. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's another good way to, you know, uh, keep your collection going. If you're into books, if you're into magical books, what you can do is get Amazon for Kindle, I think, or it's an app. Let me see what is the name of that app. It's an app that goes on your desktop. It's called that's Kindle. It's just called Kindle. It's a Kindle app. And what you can do is you can buy books from Amazon and they'll always be in that app. So say you read a couple pages one day, you can go back the next day and it'll be right where you left off. That's a good advantage of that. Not only that, you can get cheap books on through Amazon, Kindle, or whatever the hell this app is called. You can also put that on your phone or your tablet or whatever. My English professor has us doing a study guide on higher learning. Oh, okay. I would love to I would love to know the ins and outs of that. I'm sure you have almost 1,000 likes on this video already. Oh, really? How? There's only a couple people watching. I'm cool with that. Though. Scribe is very dope. I've gotten so many books from Scribe. I will subscribe. I'll get a few books, then I'll unsubscribe. I'll let my subscription run out. But Scribe is dope. That's another resource. Another resource for books is, I think it's Library Genesis. I think. But you will be surprised at where I get so many of my books from. There's another one called Sacred Magick. Sacred Magick does require a subscription, but you can download books based on the books are they cost points. So say you have 100 points. Some books may, depending on how big they are, may cost 50 points, like that. So bigger books, like say the Voodoo Gnostic workbook, will cost you about 500 points or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So uh, Sacred Magick, Library Genesis, Scribed, Kindle. Um, there you have it. Because y'all have seen several times the library that I have. And remember, I said that I have uh, my backups have backups. So I have books everywhere. So if any of you are willing, please let me know if you're willing to watch this movie. Watch this movie for me and see if you can get the meaning of the end of the movie. It's only maybe a minute at the end, but watch the whole movie if you can. It is centered in and around Philadelphia. Okay. It's called Jennie, Jennie. because I kept rewinding it. Like, what is this big reveal? I looked at the reviews and people's like, oh, I didn't see that twist coming, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, am I looking too deep into this or what? So that's what I was explaining to Sharon. Sharon said something to me this morning that I thought was hilarious. As a matter of fact, I let the wife hear it. She was laughing too. What's going on, Tosh? The weather is nice today here in Texas. Um, Texas is going to get cold. I'm pretty sure the Farmer's Almanac predicted another harsh winter for us. So it could be we get another winter storm like we did almost 2 years ago. Either way, we're always prepared. So, like I said, hopefully y'all ate yesterday and did whatever the hell you wanted to do. Me personally, I chilled. I just took the day off. I chilled, and that was that. Watch some westerns because y'all know I'm on this western binge right now. So, um, uh, something else you said to me, Sharon, and I wanted to speak on that too. You said, if you don't mind me speaking on, she said that, you know, she likes the flute music that Andre 3000 came out. Yeah. Um, if you'll notice, I have continually tried to push that kind of music, that meditation music, the binaural beats, the isochronic tones, things that help your brain expand. Okay. That's what this is. And if you have followed him from the beginning, you would know that he's always been different like that. This is not something new for him. People say, or they like to say, that he got that way once he got with Erykah Badu, but no, he's just been like that. He's just been different. That's horrible. Yes, I know you are prepared. Have you gone solar yet? We went solar 17, 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. Yes, we're solar. Yeah. I love Westerns. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Love, Peace, and Light, E.J. Taylor. Yeah. It took me all this time to get into Westerns because I never gave it a chance. I never gave Westerns a chance. And now that something told me to just start watching them, and I did. And I'm like, okay, these are cool. These stories are cool. You know what I mean? The moral compass is cool. The anti-heroes is cool. The protagonists are cool. The setting is cool. Okay. All of it about these old westerns are cool. I like the newer ones, but I'm loving like the spaghetti westerns, which starring like Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Matter of fact, once I get off here, I'm probably going to go finish the one I was watching last night called Sabata. That's a good one. I really am embracing these spaghetti westerns. Peace, peace, Katrina. Namaste. He is a musician and recording artist. Lee Van Cleef. I think you're talking. What's going on, Sasha Fox? Katrina, right on time. Katrina sent me a clip that shows, and I had every intention of showing it. Um, um, here's the clip. Thanks, Katrina. Here's the clip. Check this out, y'all. I can't be surprised at this time. Why? because I know I've mentioned this before that the Roman Catholic Church runs everything. Everything runs through the Vatican. Everything, all the religions, all the politics, all that runs through the Roman Catholic Church. Again, I said what I said. Okay. They know damn well nobody's going to do any research. They know that. Okay. Washington, D.C. is connected to the Vatican. So it is what it is. So as long as it's sanctioned by the Vatican, just keep seeing more of it. It is what it is. Hey, what's up, baby girl? Hey, have you had a chance to see that video Tiffany put out about Bobby Hemmett being murdered and involving Panic and the wife? Crazy. Yes, I did see it. I didn't want to promote it. I did see it. I actually watched it, and it's about 15 minutes long. Okay. I actually thought about reaching out to her and bringing her on it. Then I said, no, I'm going to keep myself out of this, out of it completely. You know, I say look at the video yourself and see and make your own conclusions or come to your own conclusions. Yeah. Remember, I'm always all about thinking for yourself. All right. I can't tell you what to think, nor am I going to say she's right or wrong. Okay. I am completely out of this shit. You know, I have no stake in it whatsoever. But yes, to answer your question, I did see it. Exactly. Why the number 44? You know what I mean? Why the number 44? Great point. Great point. 44. Mm. The mysteries continue. I mean, everything is so interconnected and did y'all know that Elijah Muhammad was a Mason? Did y'all know that? So if you want to see or see some points made about that, watch the debate. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube. Watch the debate between Wesley Muhammad and Natural Tahuti. Might have some questions answered. What? Tiffany who? After this, I will send you a link. Yeah. Good idea. Best to stay out of that. Blessings to Bobby Souls. I didn't know he was even gone. You didn't? I mean, that's the thing. I'm not going to speculate on that either. You know, people say that's what I was talking about last week when I said the conscious community has an even wider rift because now they're saying he's gone, that he's been gone, that's a clone, this, that, whatever, ever. That's why I say I'm staying out of it completely. I'm not speculating. I'm not guessing. I'm not stating my opinions on nothing. Okay. So you will have to come to your own conclusions with the videos that's being put out. There's a lot of videos being put out. Ani Osaro has put out a video. Tiffany has put out a video. Khadija herself, Panic's Mrs., I guess, put out a video. But me personally, out of it. Not staying in none of that shit. Panic continues to live up to his name. I see. What's up, Lloyd? All the popes and cardinals wear dress. Technically, Pope invited his own gang tribe. Interesting point there. Oscar Michaud made 44 movies. There's a lot of reasons for it in numerology. Yes, there is. Oscar Michaud happens to be my wife's favorite director or movie maker. I don't engage, nor do I. I don't engage in any of it. I think that's one of the truths that Malcolm found out about Elijah, how tied into everything he was, everything he preached. Again, I'm sure. Hypocrisy. Man, the shit goes deep. And then, and I'm not speaking out about the Nation of Islam when I say stuff like that. But you have to know the fact. You can't ignore facts. You can't ignore objective facts based on your feelings or based on, how it's going to make you feel. You can't do that. Okay. That's why do your research. Okay. Farrakhan, interestingly enough, what took me so much to get that word out? He did something with Scientology or welcomed Scientology into the Nation of Islam. So, I mean, what's up with that? You know what I mean? Are we not supposed to question anything or everything? You're supposed to question everything, including everything I'm telling you on this channel. All right. So now, with that being said, let's hear from Bobby. Let us hear from Bobby himself.
Was out of print for years. That book just came back in 2003 or 2002. I think it came back in 2003. So Robert Masters' book, The Goddess Segment, is back out. This is his wife. She wrote a book called The Passion of Isis and Osiris. And the concept here is that Aset and Isis and Osiris are nothing but twin halves of the same entity. The same entity. And in all, from Yoruba, Voodoo, they always have the twins. They also have a twin called the Acalion. So what we're talking about here is at this particular time, you're going to have to fight hard to try to understand your species have, even if you don't have a mate, you're going to have to try to fight hard to understand that you are all one. And so these gender roles are going to have to go to an androgynous level. I'm not talking about on the sexual realm. We're talking about mind here. We're talking about advanced esoteric and metaphysics. This is what I teach. So we're not talking about the sexual aspect. But we are talking about a god called, the goddess Shiva. And Shiva is nothing but a form of Osiris and Horus. But there's an entity called Shiva Hermaphrodite. So we're talking about, and they show pictures of them, both male and female, Shiva with one breast, and on one side is a female and one side is a male. Well, that's nothing but his mate, Shakti or Parvati, when they make a sacred union through heterosexual sex, but they come together in unison as one entity. So you're going to have to, in order for you to become whole, you're going to have to take, if you're a male, you're going to have to take your, search for your female counterpart within you. And if you are a female, you're going to have to search for your masculine counterpart, which is in you, because all of these are expressions of the goddess. You understand where I'm coming from here? We're talking about advanced occultism. We're not talking about your religiosity. You can't trace your shit back, but 2,000 years, you out of the loop.
It's interesting to me that all the master teachers say the same things. In his comic book, Azazel said that men are 60% male, 40% female. Women were 40% female, 40% male, 60% female. You see what I'm saying? And so they all preached, they all taught duality, getting to know your feminine self. You know what I mean? And a lot of people who operate from their root chakra think it's sexuality. It's not talking about sexual, okay? It's talking about your mindset. Remember, on the astral realm, you're genderless. All right? Genderless. Bobby, in my Whitney voice. Yes, he did the Dianetics test with the nation. I remember seeing that. I was flabbergasted, as was I. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, for real? I was like, okay. So, I'm sure his followers had questions too, but yeah. So, two movies also that I wanted to suggest, right? I'm always saying this. They put everything in movies, all right? But this movie has to do with magic and doing magic for real. All right. This movie actually shows the tricks of the trade as far as illusionism. Okay. Illusionism. I'm talking about The Prestige with Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman. As an excellent, excellent movie. I think Scarlett Johansson's in it too. It is an excellent movie. Okay. It's two 19th century magicians going at it, stealing each other's tricks, and it's a fantastic movie for what it shows. What it also shows also is the one who's doing magic for real, and that was Nikola Tesla. Okay, portrayed by David Bowie. Right? See the prestige. A movie is nothing more than a visual aid. All right, a visual aid. That's why I suggest them so often. Remember, I just suggested Altered States. Okay, in Altered States, this man went back to his primitive state, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, you will have to see it. All right, there's another movie that shows the exact same thing. The difference between illusions and doing magic for real. Okay. Lord of Illusions is the name of it. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite occult movies. Okay. One guy was doing it for real. The other guy was an illusionist. Okay. They market it as a horror movie, but it is Clive Barker. Clive Barker got some shit with his movies. I'm telling y'all. Balance your masculine and feminine. Absolutely. Yes, one of Christopher Nolan's best movies was The Prestige. Okay. Watch it, take notes, go back to it. All right. This is how I practice. We're talking about practice. I mean, I'm the franchise player, and we're talking about practice. I mean, practice. We're talking about practice. Yes, we're talking about practice. Practice makes perfect. Okay? That's how you get good at something. You keep going over and over and over, and you're flexing your what's it called? Your muscle memory. All right. You keep doing something until you get it right. Muscle memory. Okay. There's another movie, not a movie. There's another clip I wanted to show to y'all, and this comes from who else but Dr. Yafa Bey. She says something very interesting in this clip. Let's see. She goes, my son. Go to Dr. Yafa Bey.
That's how you would pronounce it in Latin. Skianki.
What's up, Nay the Great?
Now, ski is from the word, if you look in science, it'll tell you in the brackets to look up skilicent. Skilicent. And skilicent, or skill or skilly, is from skire. And how to spell what? Spell what? Skilicent? Skilicet. Skilicet, I'm sorry. Skilicet. Now, it may or may not be in the regular dictionary, but it's definitely in there in the brackets for the word science. If you're in the, who sees the word science? Do you see skilicent in the brackets, or skilicet? From skille or skire, which is from skia, which means shadow, light and shadow. Now, what do they talk about? The powers of light versus the powers of darkness. So when you're dealing with skianki or science, you're dealing with the manipulation of light and shadow. And light and shadow is really what? Another form of sound and frequency. Light and shadows are frequencies. And your brain, left and right hemispheres, you have your dark and light side. The right side of your brain, the feminine side, controls the left side of your body. You're on the left side of your body, where your feelings and a lot of your blood is pulsing through, and a lot of your gut, well, a lot of your feelings are really coming from your gut, but you know they say the feelings from the heart. The left side of your brain, which is your masculine side, controls the right side of your body. The right side brain, left side body that is feminine is really the so-called light. The left side brain, which controls your right side masculine, is really the right side dark. Now, when you get where you comprehend that, one side of your mind works like this. You have your conscious and your subconscious mind. And I'm telling you this as a professional clinical hypnotherapist. The subconscious mind controls everything that you're doing. But the conscious mind is the gatekeeper. Its responsibility is it kind of controls what gets in to your subconscious mind for you to work with.
So it's a filter.
It's a filter, but it's also a type, it kind of bullies your unconscious or subconscious mind the way the masculine side of your brain kind of bullies the feminine side of your brain, the way the pink man kind of bullies the melanated man, and this kind of thing. That's that light and shadow thing. Now, the unconscious mind is the most powerful part of your mind. It's really the closest link to your superconscious. It's where your superiority comes. Because while you're walking around and talking, your unconscious mind is controlling the lips moving, the eyes blinking, the heart pumping, the blood running. Everything is, your subconscious mind is doing all of this and seeing everything that's going. It doesn't miss anything and it doesn't miss a beat. It's on every beat. It's on a pulse. It's on the frequency. Your other side that is kind of controlling everything is too analytical. Our people are not as analytical as the pink man. They're very linear and analytical. We're very spirally, abstract, big picture kind of people. So when you understand the difference between light, dark, left, right, male, female, then you can get both sides of your brain firing back and forth, because there's a lot of electricity bouncing around in here and up and down your spinal cord and throughout your muscles, because electrical impulses are causing things to move in here. So when you get where you understand that, then you can start building up your power and your power base. They wanted you guys to start looking into some differences between the right and left brain. And I had a bunch of notes, and gosh knows, in this short period of time, I don't think I'm going to find them. I may or may not have remembered to even bring them. But on the science, the skill of sense is about light and shadow. The ain, A-I-N, means one's own, but I gave you guys yesterday what E-N meant. Do I need to give it again? Yeah. E-N means an existing real thing. It means to be. So, it's being the key that controls all the light and shadow frequencies going through you, the real thing.
Very interesting what she says here. Now, that's why I'm always saying to keep your mind nutritious. I guess that's the word I'm coming up with right now. She said it misses nothing. Okay? Everything that your eyes can see and take in, your mind processes. So this is why when you go to sleep, you have certain dreams. It's because some of the stuff that you've seen during the daytime, your mind was not able to process it. So it processes it in dreams. Okay? That's why when people say I can't multitask, bullshit. Your unconscious mind, you heard what she said, it controls everything. Breathing is automatic. Blinking is automatic. Swallowing, automatic. Okay. There's something controlling that. That's another part of you. Okay. If it can do all that, what you mean you can't multitask? Right? Like I got asked the question, don't forget to smash that like button on this Black Friday. I got asked, but how? And a lot of people are just, they don't believe that their mind is this powerful. Okay. But it is. And water is a part of it. Water is a part of it. Right. But there are supplements also that you can take to keep your mind at maximum efficiency. Okay. The brain is nothing but a receiver. It is I want to say a receptor, but there's another word I'm looking for. It'll come to me in a second. But there's nothing but electricity and water in your brain. All right. They still do not know where electricity originates from. And why is it a part of you? Okay. Water has a lot to do with this. Think about it. Okay. Nikola Tesla, he was a genius at discovering all the uses of electricity. Okay. And just for it happen to be in your body, that says a lot, doesn't it? Not just supplements, certain foods, almonds, fish, supplements like DMAE, huperzine A, which is Chinese moss. I know I've mentioned these several times. There's also some plants, peyote, peyote, ayahuasca, Amanita muscaria, all these plants that come from the earth. Okay. This is to help you get rid of toxins and expand your thinking, expand your brain. Niggas are always late. Someone else said to me that, did you hear it? That shit is meditation music. I've been preaching meditation for as long as I've been doing this. The only way that people, that niggas, and I'm keep using the word niggas, will actually hear something is if a celebrity says it. Now, people are getting into meditation music. What about us that's been telling y'all to get into meditation music and just to meditate, period? You know what I mean? It's frustrating, but I mean, it is what it is. Right? We're always late to the party. Always. Look how it took Bobby Hemmett coming out and others to talk about Magick. And Magick has been around as long as we've been around. And still, only a couple people, I say a couple, only a couple people are actually utilizing this art. Motherboard, yep, exactly. Yep, exactly why drinking liquid gold is important as it reacts to electricity in the brain. The Egyptians knew this. Good point, baby girl. Thank you. Good point. When I was first fucking with Bobby in 2008, one of his lectures, he mentioned monatomic gold. That is excellent for your brain. And he told a way where you can make it with household products. You can make it with grape juice and baking soda. Right? There are some people who actually sell it. I'm not one of those people. I'm not. Okay. But monatomic gold, just like baby girl just said, the Egyptians did know this. The Egyptians knew a lot, but before them, they knew even more. Okay. We only know the Egyptians, though. I tell you, the Sumerians knew a whole bunch. All right, a whole bunch. So did the Akkadians, the Assyrians, Babylonians, everybody who came before the Egyptians. They just wanted to give you the Egyptians, though, and that's it. You got to do your research, people. Only one person talked about water that I know of. Water being so very important to the brain. She was mysteriously murdered. That's where I got that from. Water in the brain. Very heavy information in here. Of course, I got it from Azazel Bay. Of course I did. I told y'all before, when he put out his website, when he came to Facebook, I made sure I was going to try and buy every goddamn thing on his site. That's how dedicated I was to learning what he knew. Okay? Water is that important. Yet still, they will sell you sodas for 99 cents. They will sell you that, knowing goddamn well it dehydrates you. Knowing it dehydrates you. There's so much don't drink tap water, please. Okay? You can make alkaline water yourself. All you need is some shungite to make alkaline water. Or you can use grapefruit seed extract. Now, this is my least favorite way of making alkaline water, but it works. Okay? Because it makes the water taste kind of nasty. It makes it taste like grapefruit. You don't want to drink, it doesn't taste like grapefruit juice. It tastes just like, it's hard to explain, but it will alkalize your water. Okay? And like Mystic TV says, dig deeper. Speaking of which, this is one of my favorite books on voodoo magic. Okay? It's called the Voodoo Sorcery Grimoire. But also, here's one of my books. Patron of Sorcery. During a recent conversation, a student in ancient Egypt mentioned to me cult of Isis on Osiris and the survival of the fall of Egypt as a Mediterranean mystery religion. As an initiate of the modern temple of Set, I began to wonder to what extent the original cult of Set has survived that civilization and what documented forms this survival had taken. I found an answer in Hans Dieter Betts' edition of the Greek magical papyri in translation, including the demotic spells. In the twilight of Egyptian civilization, Set, the Lord of Darkness, denounced by followers of Osiris, became a patron of sorcery. This apparently occurred by way of Egyptian priests moving into freelance magical practice after foreign domination led to loss of royal funding for the temples. It is strange to envision the Egyptian priests co-signing their lore to the written word, given their notorious reputation for xenophobia and secrecy. Significantly, while these spells span the full range of magical operations, little of a theoretical character is disclosed. The first thing they did when they conquered a civilization was to demonize their gods. And this is what happened to Set. Set is the oldest known worship deity, the oldest. The oldest. So they say, but the oldest. Okay? He is now, when people think of Set, they're thinking of him being against Osiris and Horus. That wasn't the case. Okay? Wasn't the case. This is why you do your research. Just drank a big glass of grapefruit juice and took a grapefruit seed oil extract today. Helps me process all of the chemicals Dr. food America sells. Y'all see what Tosh just said? Okay. That's a great example. Great example. Okay. Also, if you not gonna say if you like to read, but one of the authors of magical texts that should be read, his name is damn it, what is his name? Yeah, Lon Milo Duquette. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Aleister Crowley possessed far too much technical knowledge of magic to readily understand the problems of ordinary students. He frequently asked his younger colleagues to help make his teachings more accessible, and once explained that it's the sort of thing I can't do myself, not knowing the scope of the mind of the gentle reader. Like other gentle readers who have delved into Crowley's system on their own, Brother Duquette found many of the gaps and pitfalls in the system by the time-honored method of falling into them, scrambling out, and trying again until he crossed them. The present work incorporates many of the results of his personal work. What is true of science holds true for scientific illuminism. Duquette is the first to allow that while some of his findings may be replicated by future experimenters, others are subjective personal interpretation, but even the latter are invaluable as suggesting other lines of investigation and as examples of the kind of personalization of the system that enables the magician to make it his or her own. Okay? Duquette also drew on recent research by other students that will be formally published in the forthcoming one-volume edition of Crowley's Book 4. Speaking of Lon Milo Duquette's mythical eponym, Crowley wrote in part 2 of his Book 4 that Milo began by carrying a newborn calf, and day by day, as it grew into a bull, his strength was found sufficient. It is not stretching the metaphor too far to suggest that the present work will be useful to many students as an introductory guide to those portions of Crowley's magnum opus dealing with ceremonial magic. Please get this book when and if you can. The Magick of Thelema, a handbook of the rituals of Aleister Crowley. Okay. The Magic of Will, the evolution of magical formula, the Book of the Law, the pentagram rituals, the thelemic rituals of the pentagram, the hexagram rituals. Yeah. And so on, and so on, and so on. Lon Milo Duquette has put out some great works on magic. And what I like about reading him is he's very entertaining. Okay. You will not get bored reading his books. Okay. There's also something I would love to read to y'all from a friend of mine. She put this on her Facebook page, and I thought I would share it with y'all. Okay. She said she was invited to be part of a project to be published in Spain. And one of the questions asked was if I ever created my own rituals. I've always thought this to be an unusual question, as I have been criticized in the past for making shit up, quote unquote. To those people who think there's something shady about people who can adeptly write their own spells or workings, and you can't do the same, then please sit down. You have no authority to criticize those that can. If you can't, you aren't sufficiently skilled in your craft, and your opinion means absolutely nothing to me. In my opinion, the ultimate sign that you have come into your own as a practitioner of the arts is exactly that. Being able to design a working that perfectly matches the condition with which you face, and then to execute said working effectively. Of course, one needs to work within a particular system. That is, after all, how you know what kinds of things work. That's how things make sense. I do not advocate mixing traditions. I do encourage taking what you have mastered and applying that knowledge to help yourself in whatever ways you can. Mastered is a key word here. It takes years to master an art. If you think crafting your own working as opposed to, I don't know what, using a book, copying the TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram is somehow illegitimate, that is a flashing billboard sign telling the world that you don't know what you're talking about and should stop and listen and stop criticizing others. Work more on your craft, study hard. Maybe one day with a lot of practice, you too will be able to quote unquote make shit up. Okay. She is so on point with that. All right. That is the whole point of mastering the craft. Okay. That's the point of sorcerers putting out guidebooks, cookbooks, so that you can take what they have learned, you can take the systems that's already been laid out and make your own. Bobby has said it. Azazel has said it. I think Panic has said it. You are supposed to make shit up. You're supposed to do that. Okay. That's a sign you have matured when you can make it and make it work and consistently make it work. Okay. You're supposed to be able to take any grimoire, take the formulas and make something that works. Okay. Of course, you're supposed to make shit up. You are supposed to be able to get to that point as a practitioner of the craft. That's the whole point. Same for me since the beginning. Since 2010, I ordered almost everything Azazel put on his website. As a French native, I knew his teaching was something important for my spiritual understanding. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I did have something else I wanted to show y'all. By the way, the person who said that, if you're friends with her, you should have seen that post. That is Denise Alvarado, author of a great many books. Many books. Denise Alvarado. Her books are so great, people steal her work. I mean, that's not a good thing to get your shit taken, but it does give a testament of how good you are when people want to copy you. Know what I'm saying? I feel like this is why Crowley said, do what thou wilt. At some point, you become the creator. Exactly. Give yourself a round of applause, Tosh. That is a great, great point. That's exactly what it means. Do what thou wilt.
And sucking out the melanin. Remember they did that on the X-Files, one movie, that African who was an albino. I got 2 copies of that shit. The woman said, is this still on? Testing. Well, whatever. Yeah. It's up now. Testing. The woman said that cocaine or heroin induced raised the endorphin levels. He said, what is endorphin? She said, the endorphin glands are your pituitary gland, pineal gland, and all of that. She says, the endorphins is nature's own sense of wonder drug, and it gives a great height of awareness. Nature's own ecstasy. They're talking about melanin. She said, 1 ounce produces 1,000 doses. Well, there you have it. Makes sense why your ass is a high commodity. 1 ounce of melanin makes 1,000 doses. Right in the movie, 1990. Let's go on. Crack cocaine, the reason why it was so effective, you've got the clairvoyant stuff, melanin, key to black greatness. Here's some other stuff. The reason why crack cocaine was so effective is that they started putting melanin in the crack cocaine when they gave it to you. It bond with melanin because it had melanin in it, and B12, which is neurotransmitters that go straight to the brain. It's all in a movie called Bringing Out the Dead with Nicolas Cage. And at the beginning of the movie, they say 1990. The whole country was hit by this stuff called Red Death. And it was a mixture of cocaine, or they say heroin, that's to throw you off, mixed with amino acids. And remember, melanin is amino acids. You see? Let's go on. They found out for the first time to get you to kill each other off. The melanin, they found out that they can take the melanin and put it into crack cocaine. And they can use certain components of the melanin based on aggression and emotion. You take the doggone crack cocaine, and they could monitor what part of the melanin they put in the doggone crack cocaine that will make you violently crazy. And you start killing each other off wholesale in the streets of L.A. and all over the country around 1990.
Notice what he said there. They said they found a way. This is diabolical in my opinion. They found a way to put melanin in crack. I don't doubt it for a second. So this means that it binds with your melanin. And that's why it was so successful. He also said they put certain shit in like liquor. Notice back in the 90s, the period he's talking about, this is when St. Oz came. St. Oz had to be banned because niggas got violent. Cisco, OD, King Cobra, all those malt liquors, they get you drunker than drunk. Don't ask me how I know this. They get you drunker than drunk and violent. You know what I'm saying? So this goes back to what I was saying about making sure your brain is lubricated, for lack of a better word, lubricated with the right shit though. Okay. He's saying that they putting melanin in the neurotransmitters like B12. That's some diabolical shit when you think about it. That is some diabolical shit there. These tactics have not stopped. You know what I mean? These tactics have not stopped. Peace, Caribbean Grimoire. The Dogon said, fake it till you make it, and Hollywood and Wall Street are built on that principle. Indeed. You have to catch the rerun? Okay, not a problem. Today is pretty much a holiday. I expect a whole lot of people here today anyway. Show one of your favorite of her books. We talking about Denise Alvarado, right? Me and Denise have been friends, I want to say since 2007, I think. This one right here, Mystic TV. This is one of my favorite books of hers. The Voodoo Hoodoo Spellbook. She got basics in here. The Voodoo Pantheon, the saints, prayers, candle magic, oils and potions, etc., etc. How to make a gree-gree bag. Interesting. These things that she has here, this is part of my Magic 101 course. Gree-gree bags, spiritual baths, oils, candle magic, and so on and so on and so on. Denise Alvarado. I'm trying to get her here. I would love to interview her. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. I survived that. Peace and wholeness, Olathe Tayan. Increase DV in the home. DV. You're one of my favorite shows on the tube. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. Namaste for saying that. Okay. But as always, that's going to be it for me today. I can only do an hour. Let me say in closing, though, besides thanking y'all for joining me on this Black Friday, you know, the original Black Fridays, them selling slaves. But yeah, I try not to. I couldn't help myself. But one of the things you will have to learn and accept is that if you do travel this particular path, this is a very lonely path. It is extremely lonely. If you're actually serious about this art, it becomes lonely because the more you ascend, the less you're going to connect with other people who are on a low vibrational frequency. Okay. The less you will take pleasure in seeing mundane shit. All right. Once you start to arise, if you take it seriously, okay, it is a lonely path. It has been lonely. Okay. There is no, I know I said this too. There's no gold at the end of the rainbow. There's no recognition. There's no awards, none of that. Okay. A lonely, lonely path. And the ancient ascended masters all preach on that. That is a lonely path. Okay. Some people don't want to be on that path and be lonely. Some people need other people. You know what I mean? But there is a price to pay for actually following the magical arts. You got it? Okay. Magic, unfortunately, I think you are right on Black people and leaving most alone. I just had an encounter with a Black nurse who was hostile for no reason. Sick of the attitude. Yeah, you have to, baby girl, you have to leave people where they at. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself because Black people are gone, period. They say this was prophesied and they say it wasn't always like this. But since we're living in this time, I can't verify that. Okay? I can't. But it's crazy that you see people losing their minds and your worst enemies are people who look like you, especially in the corporate world. Domestic violence. Oh, okay. The increasing domestic violence in the home. Okay, I got you. It took me all the time to get that. Funny, here's truth. I was reading Denise's books today. Synchronicity. 105 spiritual baths by her. Yes, yes. Anything Denise puts out is great. I got several of her actual physical books, like the Voodoo Doll Spell Book is a great book too. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to try to get her on here. She's one of my favorite people. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your whatever you want to call today. I will be back next week, of course. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be prepared for a winter wherever you are. All right. I'm the one and only. There's only one Magick LaCroix. I will see y'all next time. Thanks again so much for joining me. As I greet you in peace, namaste.